When was the last time that you had a dream and you gave up on it? Because for the first time in 6 years, I'm about to achieve my dream. I'm 7 days away from making it happen. I have a personal brand that's got almost 400,000 followers. I've got a business with 11 employees. And I'm about to make myself officially on the payroll, which has been my dream for 6 years, to be able to pay myself, to be self-sufficient. I'm gonna go back and tell you the story of everything I've been through, all the things I've tried, the mindset, things that have gone wrong, and everything that's worked to get to where I am. My earliest memories of getting a job, working, is when I was 14, I joined my dad's company. My dad left school at 15, and he wakes up every single day loving exactly what he's doing because he created his own business. And I remember thinking that when I was at school, why do I have to go to school? My dad left and he loves what he does every single day. He's so happy. That's what I want. So I started working for my dad when I was 14, worked as a lifeguard at one of his lakes. And my dad's got a business where you've got all these lakes across the UK. You can scan in, you can scan out. It's kind of like a gym sort of thing with a membership, and there's health and safety, lifeguard, etc. And I was working as a lifeguard, then I went to a venue manager, and then I started getting more involvement in the business. And I saw it go from literally nothing to where it is today, and it's a fairly decent sized business. But that lit a fire in me, just seeing how my dad was choosing the direction of the business and where he wanted to take it. And I've always wanted to have something like that of my own. So that really sparked it for me. When I was 19, I got a job as a software engineer, very corporate, commuting every day, and that's my first sort of experience in the London corporate world, working for a big company under someone else, 9 to 5, and really it showed me it confirmed that that is not what I want to do, and again kind of moved me towards wanting to build my own business. So I worked there for 3 years, and then COVID hit, and in that time I got put on furlough, which was a huge blessing because I was getting 100% of my pay, and it was a pretty decent pay for a 21-year-old. But I had all this time. I didn't have to work. So I literally put my mind to what can I create that's gonna be something I absolutely love and can build into my own business. So I started building the website and the design and the branding for a company called Forager, which was a herbal tea brand all about health benefits. And I think it kind of was ignited from my auntie, who loves herbalism. She was showing me all these different herbs that could give you different benefits and focus, energy, sleep, immune system, etc. And I really got into just creating these blends and getting live feedback from my mum, who's a hairdresser. She had all these clients coming in, so I was giving them tea bags, getting feedback, and I just loved the fact that I'd created something and it was influencing them in some way or impacting them, and I was getting this feedback and I could make it better. And then I went on to building a website and kind of snowballed into slowly getting customers, running Facebook ads, and I learned everything I needed to know about running a business. I thought that Forager was going to be my life's work, the be-all and the end-all, and it was going to take me to millions, and obviously it's never what you first expect it's going to be. There were so many challenges. You know, it went from packing all the tea bags myself to doing these events in person, meeting customers. Then we got our first retail order and they scaled it from there. We managed to get a manufacturer. But the whole time, I had no idea about profit and loss, the business model, the economics of how it actually works with a business. When you have a product that costs a certain amount, you sell it for a certain price, you get a certain amount of profit, and then you've got things like lifetime value, how often that customer comes back to you. I had no idea what I was doing, and I slugged it out for 3 years. Absolutely loved it, but it just took everything out of me, and it just wasn't growing where I initially thought it was going to grow. And I think in those 3 years, my interest started to evolve and move on, which is when I decided to just completely stop the business, take the loss, take the fact that I'd learned an insane amount, and move on to the next thing. But the next stage where I went to after Forager was, I knew that I needed experience, so I looked for a job, and I wanted to work in a startup, a small team where I could really, really learn. And I just had no idea what I was going for, but managed to find a company called Health, which at the time was brand new, doing zero revenue pretty much. I joined as the first employee. Health today is one of the biggest UK retailers for supplements. So just managed to pick a company that was about to go on insane growth, and I couldn't have wished for a better education, better people to work with, better founders to be led by. And they've taught me an insane amount that couples with what I learned on Forager. However, I got really comfortable on my paycheck that was coming in, the growth that I was seeing, the fact that I thought I was helping people by selling supplements. I thought supplements were the be-all and the end-all of health, and obviously my opinion on that has changed a lot now, but selling people these sort of synthetic supplements and everything, and I loved what I was doing, and I knew that I was learning a lot, but I lost sight of the goal, which was to have my own company and to be able to pay myself. And I kind of got really far away from it and really sucked in, and I had a huge area of the business that I was dependent on and all these responsibilities, and it took away from the goal. And it took me about 2.5 years to really understand what I was doing, where I was going, and realign myself. And I think it was the fact that one day I was offered an opportunity to create my own company under Health. They would own a huge percentage of it. I would have a small minority of it. And for whatever reason, that contract was pulled out at the last minute. It also just so happened that the day that that contract got pulled out from me, I went on Instagram and I was really getting into the whole food, ancestral, animal-based sort of diet and lifestyle. Paul Saladino, if you know, in this animal-based space, put a post out just saying that he wanted an intern, a videographer. And it was the same day that the contract had been taken out. And I felt like, I don't know if you've ever had something that you're so certain is going to happen, and it's your destiny, it's the new path, this is going to make you millions, it's going to be a huge success, and then all of a sudden, all of that crumbles from underneath you. You just want to get away. You want to get away from people, you want to start something brand new, you want to change whatever it is about yourself that, I don't know, if it causes insecurities and stuff, and you start doubting yourself. And this opportunity came up and I just thought, fuck it, I've got nothing to lose. So I sent my application in, and amongst thousands of people, just by chance, they looked at mine, picked it, thought it was good enough, interviewed me, and I flew out the same week to Costa Rica, which was crazy. It was such a interesting experience. It was really cool meeting someone that I looked up to and seeing what he'd built out there. He's someone that has built a personal brand, he's built supplement companies, and a bit of a role model. I hadn't realized that that's where I wanted to get to yet. I hadn't really put that together, but by being out there, I was able to see, you know, what his lifestyle was like, what they may be things that he was doing that I disagree with, but things that I also agree with, and I can kind of use that as a model and a foundation of where I was directing my life. I spent about 3 months out there, did a lot of videography. I learned how to build a personal brand, which has obviously helped me in building my own personal brand after that. And I saw how he built a business alongside his personal brand. So I took everything I could. I also met people that were completely aligned with my way of living. I've made some friends that I'm honestly gonna be friends with for life. I'm going out next week to go and meet them again, just because we have so many shared values, and it's really cool being surrounded by people in a community that eat the same way. They like grounding, they watch the sunset, they watch the sunrise, they don't drink alcohol. Just felt really good being with those people. So I'm excited to go back out and meet them. But it showed that when building a company and building a team of people around you, you want them to be aligned on your way of living. That culture matters more than skill set, because that kind of stuff can be taught. So I took a lot away from that. I learned everything I needed to learn about whole foods, everything I needed to know about the diet. I was speaking directly with thousands of customers. There were so many people messaging Paul Saladino on his Instagram, this has helped my asthma, this has helped my eczema, raw milk does this. And I saw firsthand all these different people, how they interacted with the diet. And that laid the foundation for me to then create a formula based on all the research I'd done, and it aligned with my diet, and I created a product that was exactly what I wanted. So I transitioned out of Paul Saladino, went back to the UK and started a company called Organised. This is the company that I have now, this is the brand that I'm building. Launched 8 months ago in June. And in that time, it has just snowballed into something huge. We did a launch event. From there, we just grew month on month. We've sold out 4 times. Our biggest problem right now is just building out a supply chain with the highest quality ingredients, because when you set such high standards of ingredients, it really limits who you can work with. So there's all these challenges that we're facing right now, but through that, the growth has meant that I can now put myself on the payroll. And it feels kind of surreal, and it's like I'm paying myself absolutely minimal amount. I've held off. I didn't want to pay myself because I wanted to reinvest everything back into the business. But now I can put 100% focus, 100% time, and go all in on the brand, which means I can pay myself. I actually have like validated in my head that I can pay myself, and I'm paying myself £2,000 a month, which is, it's like minimal amount. I'm actually paying employees a lot more than paying myself. But it's like a huge achievement, because I know that I wanted to reinvest as much as I could. So the fact that I can pay myself is so exciting. And to a lot of people, it might just sound like, oh, you know, you can pay yourself £2,000. And there are people that have online businesses, coaching, one-to-ones, communities, groups, selling courses, whatever it is, that earn a lot more money than I do. But I have something, like I have a business, and I know where it's going, and I have a team of people that live and breathe it. And it's just, it feels really surreal. So I'm just so excited by it. And one final point that I want to touch on that I think is really, really important, but you set yourself goals all the time, whether it's a 3-month goal, 6-month, 1 year, a weekly goal, whatever it is. Depending on how much momentum and what you're doing in life, those can change all the time, but at least setting a goal, you have direction. There's a saying that, I'm going to butcher it, but it's from Aristotle, and it says, a man who knows what direction he wants to go in can be favored by the wind. And it's so true that if you at least have something you're aiming for, things can fall in your favor to help you achieve that. Whether you change course or not, you at least are moving in the right direction. But there are things that happen in life that either completely reset and change direction, change it into the 180. Like when that contract got pulled from beneath me, I did not think that within a few weeks I was going to be in Costa Rica videoing someone that I had followed on Instagram for years. So things like that can just completely course direct you. And the other thing is, I've had family emergencies, I've had things happen in my family that have just put the dream on hold, and it's kind of paused things, the momentum slowed down. But the most important thing you can do is just journal what wins are happening and what things you want to achieve that week, because by doing that, you're tracking progress, and it just keeps you really, really aligned, so that when things start to pick up again, you know exactly what you need to do and how to get there. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you found it helpful if you're in a similar sort of position. But there's gonna be a lot more content on this channel documenting the real, raw stuff that I'm going through now that I'm at the stage where I can pay myself. I have new goals that I've set, and this year is gonna be absolutely insane. We've got a team of 11. I cannot wait to keep growing the business, keep impacting people in healthy ways. There's a lot of traveling that's gonna happen, so make sure to stay tuned for that.